its own just slammed shut. And Nancy had welts on her face, 3 marks, 3 welts on her face, as if she'd been slapped.
No way! No way! What the? Where are you?
You get possessed while in this house, it is not my fault.
I'm not going down there. You said there's a non-human entity down there. I can't go all the way down there, dude. It is. You know, buddy. Good to see you. Good. How you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How you doing, bro? How are you? Been nice to see you. How you doing? Hey.
Oh, that vice-like grip of yours.
Yeah. It's like a mask.
Pleasure. Hello there.
Should we go inside, talk more in there, and get out of the rain?
Definitely.
Let's do that. Let's go inside.
The Conjuring House, arguably the most infamous haunted home in the world that inspired one of the most famous horror movies of all time. Yet the terrifying events within the movie are only a fraction of the true horror that takes place here every single day. A non-human demonic entity lurking in the basement, a well that is suspected to be a portal to the spirit world, visitors being scratched to the point of bleeding, poltergeist activity, doors being slammed, and items being thrown across the room. Hearing threats from the entities here, not only out loud, but within your own mind. Nearly every form of paranormal activity imaginable has been documented within this home. And tonight we were fortunate enough to contribute truly remarkable evidence. Built in 1736 in a remote part of Rhode Island, surrounded by stone walls, open fields, a river, and a forest, the house still stands as completed nearly 300 years ago. Yet the soil it sits upon may be the most responsible for the spiritual energy engraved into the fabric of this property. The paranormal history of this home has been traced as far back as the early 1700s, when the spirits of Native American tribes embedded themselves within the land. The many battles that took place in the literal backyard, the suspected graves of soldiers just outside the windows, the ley lines and water sources running around and below the basement. All of these factors contributing, if not building towards, the incidents that took place with the Perron family in the 1970s, infamously involving Ed and Lorraine Warren and a seance in the living room. Carolyn and Roger Perron, along with their 5 daughters, endured terror every single night for nearly a decade, tormented physically and mentally by the spirits. Over the years, theories and rumors have spread about these hauntings being due to Bathsheba, a Satanist, sadistic, and murderous spirit that resides within the home. Yet all of this has been debunked and proven to be factually incorrect, now leaving the cause of all of the hauntings within this home to be rediscovered. A search for a deeper understanding of the horrific hauntings within and around this home is the reason we are here tonight, and why we have asked Dan Rivera, guardian of the Warren Occult Museum, and the real Annabelle doll, who has also worked firsthand with Lorraine Warren, to join us, as well as Carl Johnson, the very first paranormal investigator to be called to the Conjuring House by Carolyn Perron herself. He is here to give us first-hand knowledge of the demonic encounters he had here nearly 50 years ago. Our goal tonight is to do whatever we can to document paranormal evidence, even if it means pushing some bounds to do so. And well, it worked.
What year were you here?
1973.
Oh, my mom was not born yet. Wow.
All right, if you're filming, we'll start again.
I'm old enough to be your daddy then.
You might be. I've never met him myself.
Now that we know each other better.
I was the first one ever called here.
Yes, significant, but I was the first one to step in the door. We were a team based at Rhode Island College, called Parapsychological Investigatory and Research Organization. We are contacted by Mrs. Carolyn Perron. She invited us to come and evaluate the strange happenings in her farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. That was our first experience as a team with a haunted residence. We've been doing exterior cases, settings, and we wanted to branch out and address people's house hauntings. And this house certainly delivered for our first case. The first time we came here in August 1973, things were happening, memorable things. All these years later, it looked like it was last week for me.
What was the original report? Like when she first reached out?
She didn't want to leave her house, she and her husband Roger, but they felt they would have to leave here if things didn't settle down, and she wanted us to come and explore, document, film, record, see what we could find out if we could determine what was causing these things. She thought probably a spirit from the past, but something was up here. I came to feel that the house itself is the haunting. It's the experience of the house. The house has become like an organism with all the people that have lived in it. Some died in this house. It's absorbed memories, taken on kind of an evanescent life of its own, and it reacts to people. If people are a little hostile or too anxious to experience something, nothing will happen, or it kind of wants them to get out, and it makes that known. It can be unfriendly to people. They'll hear and sometimes see things. But things were happening while we were here, and we just did not anticipate that. I was all of 17 years old. So
You were 17. What was Carolyn's experience in the bedroom?
Carolyn was being more effective. She couldn't be detached from it. We were just investigating, so anything that happened was great for us. But she was living here, right in this room, interviewing Carolyn Perrin. Roger, we met him, her husband, and he had to go out on the road. We started speaking, asking her about what had happened in this house, and it sounded pretty eerie. It was definitely occupied by unseen presences. That's what we determined that day. I heard footsteps and moving around, shuffling like furniture being moved, coming from the upstairs. After a few minutes of that, I asked Mrs. Perrin, excuse me, do you have a guest upstairs? And she and the girls said, she had 5 daughters. They said, no, we hear that almost every day. Just hear things upstairs. So eventually our team went upstairs. In the far bedroom, as you enter the upstairs, there was one window at that time, the right side window, that was jammed open. The rest of our team came into the room and with the girls, and one of the daughters, Nancy, was with us. My brother tried an experiment with provocation, religious provocation, not screaming at a spirit, but my brother recited the 23rd Psalm from the biblical book of Psalms. Then he said the holy name of Jesus. As he said that name, that window on its own just slammed shut. Boom. Wow. Boom. Just slammed shut. At the same time, we kind of heard a slapping sound. And Nancy had welts on her face, 3 marks, 3 welts on her face. Wow. As if she'd been slapped. I mean, she didn't scream, but she had tears in her eyes. I went into the basement. Our case managers just would not go down there. At that time, there was one light suspended from the ceiling down there, and I'm making my way around there. At that time, nothing seemed to happen in the cellar, except that the light suddenly extinguished itself. The light bulb went off. Now, if you can picture a 17-year-old Carl down there, and all of a sudden, darkness, I'm like, oh shit. We heard thumping upstairs in various rooms, like knocking on the wall. You'd think somebody was coming into the room and knocking first. So we were not disappointed. We told Mrs. Perrin we're going to compile our notes we've been taking, and we'll give you our report. The next day, Mrs. Carolyn Perrin called me, and we would speak every day on the phone for the next probably 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
She called me to keep me updated on the happenings in the house. I was on the phone with her for a good hour. She called me back shortly after we said goodbye and said something just happened. She was slicing an orange in the kitchen, and viscous fluid, red, it wasn't a blood orange, just a red fluid came out of that orange, spilled onto the floor. She also told me and our team that she was awoken during the night and saw a vision of what looked like a woman, but she couldn't make out the face, and it was threatening her. She wanted us to come back, so 3 weeks after our initial visit, we returned. By this time, it was the beginning of September. What a change in Carolyn Perrin. She was a slender woman anyway, but she looked like she'd aged at least 10 years. It looked like she hadn't slept or eaten. She was thinner. Her hair was disheveled. She just looked not well. Roger, who was kind of stoic about all this and detached, he was getting nervous because scratches appeared on his forearms. We continued our investigation. To the best of our ability, we're conducting a scientific investigation. Now, at that time, I was acquainted with Ed and Lorraine Warren in Monroe, Connecticut. And of course, you know the Warrens. You knew them very well. What a nice touch it would be to consult the Warrens and maybe benefit from their vast experience. Tell them what was happening in this house we were investigating. And he volunteered to come here. I helped show them around, but Carolyn was leading the tour. She took them to the basement. That's when the Warrens became involved with the situation here, and they actually took over the case. So I didn't hear from Mrs. Perrin for some time, and then she called me and said, the investigation was well underway. I think it was more of an intercession on the Warrens' part than an investigation. That's how I became involved with this house, the first investigation of what 40 years later would become known as 46 years later became the Conjuring House. Carolyn's bedroom was behind us. Well, 2 owners later set that up as the library, but that was the bedroom. That was where Carolyn had that vision at night, and she heard this voice, probably telepathically, and the voice supposedly said, "I'll drive you out with fiery brooms. I'll drive you out with death and gloom. You'll try to flee, but it will be too late. You'll be dead. But that was Carolyn Perrin's experience. There's a theory that the house really wasn't haunted before the Perrins moved in. It was that unique battery, that combination. The husband who was always off on the road in his business, Mrs. Perrin, very sensitive and intuitive, and the 5 daughters. Maybe they were the perfect storm for this house. My theory is that that's the only way it can manifest, that it has a semi-intelligence to it. It may be a conglomerate of personalities that had lived in this house, and that's the matrix that formed this thing. We'll never know unless it tells us.
Do any of you guys know the correlation between this house and the Annabelle dolls?
The only correlation I could cite would be through the Warrens.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Because that's how Annabelle came to be.
Gotcha.
Annabelle is a rather sizable Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
Way bigger
Yeah.
than that.
It's bigger than that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
way
it's
bigger.
a good size because they used to make those dolls big.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
a
wow.
gift given to Corey and Jen when they bought the house. Somebody built them the case, replicating the case that I built for Annabelle.
Did
Yeah,
you build the
that
actual
case?
case for the real Annabelle doll?
Yeah.
What?
That mirror there, I remember going up to it thinking, I think that's the mirror that was on the wall when the parents had ownership of this house. Back then, I was also into ritual magic. I was actually a Satanist back then.
Really?
Yeah, I got his skull,
Really?
human skull that you saw in the museum.
Yeah.
The star in the middle.
No
Yeah.
way, that was yours.
That's his.
Yes, that was from when I was a practicing Satanist. Practicing, never got perfect at it. I did that for a few years, and of course it would be dramatic to say that I had some awakening and got away from all that, but I did it for a while and that was enough. It became my own thing and I was a Luciferan.
What is your definition of Satanism?
So let's cut to the chase and call it what it is: ritual magic, Satanism, and earth religion. It's a religion of the flesh, the mundane, not of the spirit. It's the opposite of spirit. It's humanism with black clothes and black handles.
Yeah, I gotta bring him down sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it left its imprint because I'm still interested in that. If some Satanists invited me to their ritual chamber, I wouldn't say no.
Oh.
I would tell myself, I'm investigating. Don't
Can
get
you
me
also
wrong.
invite us if you get that invite?
Yeah.
Could you get like a plus
I will.
one? Or a plus 4?
I think anybody who
Yeah,
investigates
+3.
wants to see something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially them. They
I-
all want to.
And there is a lot of that has happened.
Wait,
I'm
what?
sure still does.
Oh, really? Actually?
Yeah. The Carl Drew murders in Bedford Falls in the early 1980s. That was a satanic cult, and there were 2 murders and a beheading. They believe in Satan in a very literal sense. The more evil you do, the more Satan will bless you and empower you. And they never have good endings because that is true evil. Drink the blood of their sacrificed animals. It's just way beyond me how people can do
Sacrificing
that.
goats. I found one. A goat was sacrificed was about 6 months ago. Not a couple towns away from me, and it made it into the newspaper.
Oh yeah?
But the police department were downplaying it. A friend and I went out there because the guy that found it wanted to know what was really going on.
Yeah, one would want
And
to.
but then we started following the trail of blood from the goat, and it went up, came from the path, coming from the road down the embankment towards the water. It smelled like rotting flesh. It was the sacrifice. It was the goat. The goat's carcass was laying in the water.
That's crazy how that still goes on like the down low and secrecy. Those are just people who work at like AT&T during the daytime.
I think you set the mood for tonight.
Man. It's been a while. It's been a while.
How much is sleep up here?
Is this the room for you where it happened?
Yeah, came from here.
Whoa!
Right when he did
Oh,
that.
wait.
Wait.
Going off.
Why did it?
It just went off.
He just jokingly was like, boo boo boo, and as soon as he did that, it went crazy.
As if
Oh, wait.
Oh!
What's in there?
music
I put the music box in there. Cool. That was weird. Whoa. I wish.
Can you use these rods that I'm holding to point in the direction that you are? What?
What happened?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
It's pointing back here.
Oh, if that happened, jeez.
Oh shit. Oh.
Behind Jonah? I
Also, you know what's crazy? You know how the music box went off? It's pointed in the other direction. I'm standing in this doorway that hasn't gone off.
In the chair?
Oh. You put it in the chair. Turn to the right and see if it still points to the chair. Oh, okay. That was actually wild.
Whoa! Look at that! Turn it back the other way.
So when you first came up here on your first investigation, you walked through that door there.
Mm-hmm.
And what you were telling us, what did you see when you were up?
I waited for the interview to resume. I made my way up here quietly. As soon as I got to the top of the stairs, that noise. Yes. Keep going. Noises ceased. I came in here and it was very quiet, except I could hear them downstairs speaking. Looking around. I'm looking towards the top of the stairwell out of the corner of my eye, my right peripheral vision. I saw a darkness. So naturally I turned to look. To my amazement, something, I could only interpret it as black, but it's coming towards me. I thought smoke. I thought there's a backdraft. The house is on fire. I'm going to smell smoke. This is for an instant. I thought that. And this is all of 3 seconds at the most. I see this coming towards me, and when it reached me through that doorway, I reflexively closed my eyes and I opened it. It was gone. I didn't feel anything. I didn't smell anything from it. Didn't feel any emotional response. It just, this darkness came, except I was startled at it. It was that palpable. It stopped me in my tracks. Wow. I call it the darkening. I have nothing else to call it. Shadow person? Maybe. Imagine a shadow person without that anthropomorphic form, not looking like a person, just spreading out through the room. It's hard to say where it begins, where it leaves off. Just amorphous, but a blackness.
Did you guys hear that man talking?
Yes.
What? It was like.
He said immediately yes. Whoa.
You heard it as well?
Yeah.
While you were talking, you heard it, right?
It's hard to say where it begins, where it leaves off. Just amorphous, but a blackness.
Yeah.
What was that?
Did you hear that?
Music. That was
You
music.
heard what?
Downstairs.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was almost like a play piano or something.
Okay, but no. If everyone stops talking right now, and then we talk again, the gap should be gone.
What? Wait, what was that? Did that say hi?
There's some kind of sound signature on that.
That was like a hi.
Play it again?
Hi. Now that.
Hi.
Nobody said hi.
No, I literally was like, everyone stop talking.
And we're all right here, just
Dude, I have
standing.
such goosebumps right now.
I know.
So somebody's right here. Someone is here with us. Some presence.
Should we continue?
Was it going off again?
Yep.
They're right here.
Should we continue the session?
Yeah.
Of course.
I think we should turn the lights out if that's okay.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. You'll be the first one to speak. So 3, 2.
Are you happy that you have visitors in this home?
How many spirits are here with us tonight?
Hi. Do you want us to stay tonight?
Is there anyone in this room that you specifically would like to be alone with?
Were you the one bringing harm to the girls that lived in this house and to their mother?
Do you want to play a game with us tonight?
You spoke to us and we heard you. We heard your voice.
It almost sounds like someone's watching TV downstairs. Bro, there is a lot of voices behind me. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear him.
I know you heard one. I know you heard
there,
one.
yeah.
There are voices, bro. And I'm just hearing, it's like muffled.
What is all that noise?
That's a sentence.
Static?
What in the fuck?
Can you go
What
back
the
to this? That's a scary. Fuck off.
What the fuck?
It sounds better than the first one.
Dude, that was insane. That's the scariest thing I think I've been a part of.
I have a feeling that the loudest answers are coming from like over here. Because as we move further left, they get a little bit louder.
What year is it? Are you a young spirit?
Can you tell me why you're here in this house?
Can persons see you? Will we see you?
Do you mean us harm?
Do you remember the Perrin family?
Do you remember Roger?
Why were you so attached to Carolyn?
If you can see us, please say yes.
Do you miss the women who lived here and their energies, their emotions?
Or do you love to see them in pain?
What should we call you?
That was something.
I think he's gonna let me out.
Is that laughing? Or just trying to articulate?
What was that?
Is it laughing?
Omar or something?
when I asked, did you want me, or did you mean us harm or something like that?
Oh, harm, okay.
Can you tell me why you're here in this house? Do you believe? Do you remember the parents' family? Do you remember Roger?
Did you read this say Roger again?
It almost sounded like it, yeah. Yes, Roger.
That's it?
What should we call you? Do you remember the parent family? Remember Roger? Why were you so attached to Carolyn? If you could see us, please say yes. What should we call you?
Maybe somebody's trying to tell more of the story.
Exactly. Oh, well, that
Like
energy is
something.
trapped here. What
Yeah.
happened here?
Even trapped energy could develop personality
Yeah.
with time.
Well,
Like I'm trying to tell you.
what really happened?
Yeah. And that name was repeated after you said it.
Mm-hmm.
That Roger.
Yes.
And
the
with the
parents.
girls, and with the girls hiding,
Parents.
were those the parent girls hiding from?
Do you want to tell
Something.
more?
Yeah. This is just a theory, and then what evidence I've captured here, and this is what it's telling me. I personally believe that certain when you go into an investigation, families don't tell you the full story, what's really happening in the house. They blame their occurrences on other things, ghostly, demonic things that are harming them.
It's called parapsychological projection.
Or was it somebody that was human and that was close to the family harming them physically and mentally?
Can you fill in the blanks there with what he's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So was a male figure really abusive to the women in this house? That's all I have to say.
Everything's going off right now.
You remember I told you Carolyn wanted to tell me something, but she didn't want to say it over the phone. She wanted to meet someplace. Well, it's so many years later, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She wanted to tell me something, and she wanted to meet someplace and tell me. I had some ideas at the time what she was trying to tell me, but there might have been more to it
Yeah,
than
and
I
when
guessed.
And when I say when the girls will hide in the closet, and in the middle of the night they hear, they will lock this door here, purposely, when the father came home at night, the girls were hiding from him because he's trying to get into the room. Was their father the demon? That's just my theory. I mean, I'm not putting nothing to it. It's just a theory. But a lot of the evidence that I captured here leads more towards that. And as we're asking questions, it's kind of putting two and two together.
For a time to Carolyn, he was. And I'm not supposing too much, and I'm not taking any sides or blaming. I'm just saying Carolyn wanted out. Carolyn was, terrorized would be too strong a word, but she wanted out. Things you couldn't say 20 years ago.
Yeah, of course.
Do
Not
you
be
do you
correct.
believe in manifestation, or what some refer to as like an egregore, where you put so much thought and energy into there actually being, and you create it?
You create it.
That may be the description of the house once the parents took residence here. I'm not saying they created every entity that's here.
Yeah.
No.
Many of those are from the past.
Yeah, but whatever attachments were part of them, whatever was driving, if it was the father, what was driving him, still here. That energy is still trapped here because it affected the girls, and the walls absorbed that energy.
It's a psychic scream that says, "Let me out, let me go."
Just keep that in the back of your mind. There's a possibility. So if you capture any other evidence, maybe it's similar to what we're talking about.
I'm curious to see if the mirror can pick up stuff that we can't. I moved into the other bedroom.
He moved it.
The far bedroom?
Yeah.
I'm saying it's just going off like madness.
Mm-hmm. I moved to the other bedroom. It's on the dresser, way above bed level, nothing in front of it. For like, yeah, good. There's a GoPro in there. Good.
Come on, Corey.
But you need a flashlight. The light's already on the music box.
Alright, you're forbidden.
Wow. What?
Go.
I'm alright.
That's a stupid idea. We shouldn't
Wow. You want us to go in there?
Do that again. Go walk towards me.
Hey, I'm
It's not
coming
bad,
in, okay?
That's crazy.
It doesn't like.
Like you really physically had to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
up
no.
next to it.
That's why I love this thing. That's why I was like, can you please ship it back to me?
If you don't think we should go in here and make that box light up again on the floor, just to protect us, you know?
If you think Matt should stay here by himself, please light up that box right there.
What's actually making it go off? That's what I'm saying.
Let's find out.
Hello?
Oh, this room's creepy. That's a big. Oh, dude, is it pointed at the bed?
Yes.
What the hell is it on? I don't like
Oh,
this.
or the doll in the rocking chair.
Why are there windows? Is there a window?
Hi.
Yeah, it is. Why don't you stop?
Hey, guys. Is it okay that we're in here?
Stop, Corey. Hello? What the fuck was that? Why'd you stop? I heard something in there. Let's go in there. Let's get out of the way of this.
Hello?
Is anyone in here?
It stopped as soon as we came in here. Now it's gone.
The chalkboard? Is there somebody still in that room?
Whoa.
Is it nailed?
I didn't see that door.
They nailed it in. Is it nailed? Yeah, it might be swollen. No, look. Right here. It's...
Oh, you're right.
They locked by itself. No, we don't.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. It's really cool.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, can you use these 2 sticks I'm holding to show us where you are? It's okay to point. Please show us where you are now. Point 2. There's consistency, huh? Thank you so much. We'll see you at another time. We'll speak to you, we'll come here and visit you. Thank you.
Well, I'm alone, waiting for the other guys to finish filming in the other room. Melton went downstairs to say goodbye to Dan, and I don't think I'm alone. This round pod keeps going on. And we should there were other people in here. Yeah, this is like non-stop. No, I'm just vlogging.
Wait, that's really going on?
No, it's just me.
Really?
Yeah.
The rep pub's going off and it's just chilling.
Were you scared a lot growing up here?
The kids are still alive, aren't they?
What is that?
What?
Whoa!
What did you hear?
Okay, wait. How far to the left of me can you see?
I mean, it's pretty much just your frame.
Oh, what'd you see?
Like, I didn't get anything.
What'd you see?
Whoa, turn that off.
What'd you see?
Dude, there was a giant white circle.
On the wall?
Yes, but there was multiple parts of the circle that weren't lit up. So it was like multiple different parts of the circle in the circle lighting up. And it was slowly just moving up right here, and then it just disappeared completely.
What?
And then right as it disappeared, that spiked.
What?
What is that? Was that the door?
No, it had to be a floorboard.
Okay, wait, everybody.
It's rain.
What?
What is that?
Was that you?
That wasn't me.
Can you make a noise for us?
It's coming in the
chalkboard. It's a shot. It's a shot.
Everybody silent. Everybody silent.
Can you knock for us?
Shut the fuck up.
Are you dragging your fingernail?
Dude.
No.
No, this is
fuck.
Where's that coming up from you?
I don't know. That was the first time that I've actually gotten like chills. That
Thank
was the
you.
what the hell?
Are you trying to communicate with us?
Dude.
So this is the best way that you can communicate with us, right? This is the easiest way. It doesn't take up too much energy. You can kind of scratch on the wall, and that's how you can answer. Yes?
Dude.